I was a big athlete growing up. I loved sports. I loved being active. When it came to high school, I played baseball and I was a wrestler. And I, I really did enjoy it. I think it kept me away from trouble. It kept me active. It kept me healthy. My name is Adrian Portillo. I'm 23 years old. I'm a native of West Valley City, Utah. I'm a medical student at the University of Utah. So I had just graduated and I just got a job. Not really sure what I wanted to do yet. I had a lot of different things in mind. Didn't think too much about healthcare. I always loved working with my hands and always putting things together. I thought I was gonna go into something within, the field of like carpentry or just kind of following the footsteps of my dad. I slowly started realizing that I just started having pains every day. Every time I would do anything, even if it was just like a light workout, I would have these pains. One day I was actually bench pressing with one of my friends, and I remember immediately, I just like a shock ran up my arm and I just lost complete feeling in my left arm, and the weights essentially fell on me, the bar, it fell on my chest. I went into the doctor because I had another concern with my elbow on my right arm. So that's kind of how I convinced myself, because I was like, I don't want to go to the doctor for this. My elbow was my biggest concern because I played baseball. This was my throwing arm. And so yeah, I went in, got x-rays, and the doctor came in and yeah, he pointed out on the x-ray a lesion. And I remember during that appointment, I kept saying, well, what about my elbow? How's my elbow? And he's like, I think we got like other things to worry about. And so I went to Huntsman, met with the sarcoma team. From there on out, I did a biopsy, and it was a couple weeks of just awful waiting. It was a par osteosarcoma. If someone does get osteosarcoma, this is the one that you want to have. And obviously no one wants osteosarcoma, but that's just kind of the good news that I was told. And for me, that changed a lot because it gave me hope, and it gave my family hope that I would be okay, at least long term. We surgically removed it and the margins were clear. And so that put me in a pretty good spot again. And I think kind of like the big snowball effect of all these things that were really motivating me to say, like, if I'm gonna be alive, like I'm gonna be alive for a reason. And so definitely that motivation helped me. And to this day, I say, if I'm still here, I'm here for a reason. I don't know how long he was having these symptoms, but he started to struggle swallowing. And immediately I was concerned because I was like, he's pretty tough, and even if he feels super sick, like you won't see it. But I noticed it, like he would like eat something and he would almost like it would get stuck. And me and my mom were like, you should probably go see a doctor. And they did endoscopy, I think that's what it's called. And they couldn't even go all the way down the way they're supposed to because there was a mass there. And it was so big that the scope, like I said, couldn't fit through. So they, pulled it out there. They did the biopsy and, essentially saying like there's a tumor there. And the biopsy results did show that it was a form of adenocarcinoma. So he had esophageal cancer. But by the time he was diagnosed, it was everywhere. He didn't get much of a chance to fight. And I think that was something that was very hard on me because it almost seemed like it wasn't fair. And something that I would always trace with my experiences, I always thought that it wasn't fair how I was able to kind of walk away and be okay and be healthy and be able to become, go to medical school and do all these things while others weren't. And he did pass away shortly. I think he passed away a couple weeks after that. I mean, I would do anything to be just half the man my dad was. I'm just grateful that I was able to learn a lot from him and use that experience to kind of, shape myself into the person that I want to be in the future. I think I really knew that I wanted to do something that would give me meaning in my life. Feel like I'm actually serving a purpose in this world, right? And so right away I said, I don't think there'd be anything else I'd want to do than be able to use my experience and be able to use, the experiences I've learned just from others who have faced cancer, other friends that I've met just through the community, to kind of help others and give them hope. The motivation aspect that it provided me to want to go to medical school, to want to use this experience to motivate others and care for others in their own time of need, I think is what I really hold on to this day.